Okay. Should be live now. All right. Tweet is out. The invites are rolling out into social media. I hope everybody coming in here is having a fantastic day. I know I am.
It's a good.
So, a little recap on the day. Wednesday was the last time that I did a video on MULN. If I'm not mistaken, that was March 10th. Was it the 10th? 9th. So, the last time we spoke was on the 9th, and I had leveraged a much bigger position way back here. Sometime, I think I had added to my position somewhere on the 2nd or the 3rd of March, something like that. Um, so my cost average is like way down here. Okay, I'm just gonna preface that before we go and before we continue on. All right. So nothing you hear on this stream is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. So please take everything that we say here with a grain of salt, and always respect your risk prior to making any trades. Know what your maximum risk is, and know your trading plan, and always stick to it. That being said, I'm going to tell you guys what my trading plan is for MULN and why I think it's a strong candidate for a squeeze, which you might actually be actively watching happen in real time as I try to explain this, but I'll try to be as quick as I can. So, MULN. February 22nd, I noticed MULN had a massive short exempt ratio, which, if you're new to the channel, you can check out our short exempt reg show explained video elsewhere on the channel in our trading tutorials playlist. February 22nd, I had entered into a position in MULN for a huge amount of calls and shares while it was trading down at around 68 cents. And that was where most of my cost average was. We've been day trading and swing trading options, especially during this first run up here, up to almost $2 back on the 28th of February. It sold off, and even more short exempts came up onto the ticker at this point. Combined between between the full trading week of the 28th of February and March 8th, was more than like 42 million. It was something in that. It was something in the neighborhood of like 40 million short exempts total for that entire time period. With this period being the largest one, 22 million traded in a single day. 22 million short exempts. All of those short exempts, which had not been located, were due for delivery on Friday, or I'm sorry, Thursday of last trading week. Now, if those have not been closed, market makers are overdue on all of those failures to deliver that they had created. Ergo, they were way over leveraged on a massive short position that they never intended to stay in, and the price has been moving against them ever since. That is because retail stepped in back here on February the 24th and carried the momentum out of their hands. And as hard as market makers may try, they are limited in their ability to control a stock's momentum based on the sentiment of the market. And whenever retail decides that it's going to buy at whatever the asking price is, there's nothing a market maker can do to stop them from doing that. And since that price has been continuously lifting, that the bid and the ask have been elevating ever since that period, hitting these higher lows each time, they have been rapidly losing control. This morning we gapped up huge and it went straight up to $1.90 and tapped $2. Nearly broke through. Since then, it had created a falling wedge that ended up working out to well, basically into an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which you can see here. Here's the head, here's the shoulders, and here's the neckline. As you can see, we've broken through. Right now, the last line of resistance that we are looking at is $2. Why $2? Because of the volume shelf, which I will show you here in just a second. If you look at all of the volume down here on all of these candles, you'll see that the most of the volume that has been traded in this stock in its entire trading history since November the 5th of last year when it IPO'd, there has been no greater sum of volume than in the last month of trading. The volume shelf, this is where most of the entries of retail are at. The earliest entries are down below 70 cents. The late entries are maybe as high as a buck 30, buck 40. The average is between 80 cents and 125. This was the greatest area of demand for the stock. We have since launched way beyond that and created a new base of support here above 175. And now the stock is starting to move against market makers again, okay? We're establishing new levels of support each time. A little bit ago, we drew a Fibonacci as well, just to let me go ahead and I'll go down to the daily so that you can see the fib levels here. So I drew this Fibonacci extension here based on the low on its IPO date. Oh, look, it's a little bit messed up. Hold on. Let me go ahead and fix this. Hold on. I gotta fix this. Okay, low, high. I don't know why TradingView messed this up, but we're gonna fix it. It's probably because this wasn't on the daily candles. All right. Fibonacci resistance has us placed somewhere around 225, 227. I'm marking $2 because that's where I estimate that market makers are going to have to start hedging for options expiration. There's a huge amount of options that are expiring for March 18th. About 8% of the float at the time, the float has grown recently, but we're going to get to that in a minute. At the time that the float was trading at, there was roughly 20 million shares on the float. About 8% of the float was in the money at $1 strike. And if the price goes up to $2.50, then that would place 40% as of today. 40% of the traded float in the money. Now, according to the new S3 filings and the prospectus agreements from MULN, there's been some dilution. We knew about this. We let people know that that was what was actively happening, and it was part of the incentive for getting in on this stock right now. Why would you get in on dilution? Let me explain. The dilution that was happening with MULN was because of a malignant financing agreement with a company called Azusa Holdings that were holding on to warrants that originally belonged to NETE, that was Net Elements Inc., which reverse merged into MULN. The companies merged their stocks and became the MULN ticker. In doing so, Azusa basically converted over their warrants for NETE over to MULN warrants. Those had a conversion rate of 68.77 cents, so they were able to exercise those warrants at a ridiculously low price. They've been handing off those shares at a massive dilution every single month and continuously passing it off to their partners between Alt Global Holdings, Aquitas, Drawbridge. There's one other one that I am forgetting about, but it doesn't really matter. All of these institutional firms, we suspect, have been trying to acquire this company in a hostile takeover. And in doing so, they've been working to try to push the price down any way we can. The speculation here is that market makers were getting in on the action, and they started using short exempts to short down the company all the way down to 65 cents. We briefly hit a low of like 50 something, but it didn't stay down there for long. most of the shorts entered below $1. And as soon as retail pushed the price up above $1, it put them all underwater. And now that we're getting ready to break through $2, now there's a bigger problem that market makers are facing. Not only are they net short a massive amount of shares, they also are now risking more than 40% of the traded float running in the money in a gamma squeeze because of the Friday calls that are about to expire for the $2.50 strike. Let's see. I think I covered all of that. So, okay. I think I covered all of the main points. So, main resistance that we're trying to break through right now is $2. We have a fib level above that at about 225, we're going to say. Okay? Just roughly. Above this level, there is no volume shelf. The volume traded at this level, all of this selling that was going on down here was it was done with such a small amount of shares that there's really no shelf here. Any shorts that are still outstanding from back here, there's no real pressure that they can apply to push the price down any further. There's only there's only potential accumulation from this point on. Once this stock price rises above $2, the resistance is basically gone. We do have these fib levels here, but those are only theoretical. In terms of the actual volume traded at these levels, it's basically non existent because there were so few shares traded. Now we have the potential for the stock to completely run away after we get above this level because there haven't been any sellers at that level other than these institutions which were shorting the stock. Any outstanding shorts that are from this level are going to be incentivized to get out of their positions. And the more of those shorts that we put pressure on, the greater the pressure will be for all the shorts that entered down here below $1 to incentivize them to give up their position and buy to close. There is some speculation about the short interest because of the dilution, and I'll explain. The short interest was previously roughly like 18% SI at free float, but now if you look at Ortex, it's going to tell you something around like 2.5%. That is because the S3 filings and the prospectus agreements show that the float has grown by more than 6 times. So because of that, you're dividing by a much larger number. So the float got way, way bigger. Almost exclusively, however, those shares are almost exclusively being held by institutions which are trying to acquire this company. They're not going to be very keen to give up their shares. Maybe they will, but I don't think necessarily that that is the case. These companies are, albeit I will tell you that I think it's very shady what they've done and what they're trying to do, acquiring the company this way, and causing retail to bag hold this entire time. Those retailers who bought their shares early on when the stock IPO'd is a very, very shitty thing for them to do. But now the tables have turned. Market makers are over leveraged, and the net short position that they have entered into is way underwater now by about 60%. If the stock rises above $2 and all of those 2.5 strike calls start to go at risk for going in the money, they're going to start having to hedge that risk and start buying shares in order to deal with that. And every single share they buy will cause pressure on the stock, causing even more pain for the market maker if they still have net short positions. Waverly Austin, yes, I still have a position in Prague. Okay, I do updates on Prague basically every single day that I do a stream, and I tweet about it all the time. Okay, so now that we've covered all that DD, I'll go ahead and open it up to everybody else. I've chattered enough. We'll head down to the 5-minute chart and look at the action on a smaller time frame. See really quickly. Okay, we got this nice head and shoulders that I mentioned here. We've got the head, shoulders, and the neckline way up here, which we've already broken through. So Since we've already established those areas of support, I'm just going to go ahead and do away with all these, and I'm going to leave a support, move it back up here to the neckline of that inverted head and shoulders. We'll set that at 180. It's a nice round number. Got a nice bull flag forming here. Verde, it's your favorite pattern. Let's see what it does. Okay, I'll catch up with you, chat. It's very quiet in the stream. I'm not hearing anybody. Can somebody say something so I know that my headset's actually working?
Oh, you rang.
You're good.
Oh, okay, good. All right. It was really quiet. I'm used to you guys like chattering constantly. So.
You're good.
We
Hey.
didn't know if we were done yet.
All right. Okay. Look at this. Look at how obvious this is. Look at how obvious this is. Right before the candle closes on the 3 minute. Right before they smash it down just before the candle closes to make it look like a death spike.
It looked like a dip buy.
Yeah. Look at that. They did that. They did that at just before the candle closed to make it look like a death spike or the head of a Head and Shoulders. Let's get this engulfing candle. Let's get this engulfing candle on the next 5-minute candle. Make them regret that shit.
Look at it going. Yum, 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 yum.
Interesting. I like the screener test that you sent me, Verde. I just saw that in the mod analyst chat. Oh. Damn. All right.
Did you see in live stream questions that I posted?
Live stream questions. Let's go take a look.
Just thought it was pretty cool.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah,
Wow.
man, you're changing lives.
Dude. Well, this person already had a lot of money to begin with.
Yeah, that's
Holy smokes. Somebody had 500,000 shares at a cost average of $1.24, and they made a 35% return today. Fair market value put him at $915,000. Damn, I wish I had that kind of money to trade like that. I can't do those big dick swings.
I love the second photo that is of like the update from just now.
Yeah.
With your video on it.
That's amazing.
He's watching your video.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he does have your video up.
Yeah, we're
wow.
in DMs about it. I was like, I'm going to bring this up on stream right now because this is really awesome.
Wow. Wait a second. So whose update was that? What was his name?
It's I'm going to mess it up.
It was this was it.
I'll share. I don't know if I should share.
Oh, was it Progody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I know him. Yeah, he hasn't been shy. I don't think he'll be
Okay.
upset. This is Proggy Returns. He got in on Prague with us a long time ago. I'm pretty sure he's still all in. But that's super cool, man. That's really awesome, dude.
Big daddy moves.
Proggy should just come in here and join us. I swear, like he should just come join the
I think
professional
he
tier.
is in the Discord. I'm not sure.
He just doesn't want his presence to be made known.
Probably. So, but you guys can find him on Twitter. He's a big fan of us.
I'm gonna go ahead and let me see if I can. Sorry, I'm thinking out loud.
They still not done beating down GME today, boy.
Oh man, yeah, they really pummeled it. What the hell is going on? Look at this volume. Where is this even coming from?
Fear.
I don't think they're paper handing.
Oh, not them. I think the hedges are fearful.
Oh, pushing it down for earnings.
Oh, let's see what MACD is doing. I'm interested. It won't matter what it does out of earnings.
Never does.
It never does. They'll keep pushing it anyway.
Yep.
Spies down as well. Oh yeah, I was actually gonna look at this as well. Camber Energy. We exited our position somewhere up around like 130, I think it was. Um, had a nice move here, and now it's rebasing its support at 80 cents. I took this as a nice signal. The volume shelf down here is really shallow, so there's a lot of bag holders up here, unfortunately. Um, so I'm looking to see if there's going to be some kind of a bounce. This might be an area of demand, and if oil starts pumping again, this might be a good reentry point. Captain Insano. Yeah, I can look at IRNT. We'll take a look at that. CrowdStrike's not doing so well. It moved big on Friday. Okay, IRNT. So IRNT had a big volume push on the 10th of February and again on the 24th and 25th of February, and that pushed it up to about what was this? It's a high of $7.12. Forming a falling wedge. So what I'll be looking for is for it to break out above this level. I'll leave this as an alert so that the professionals can get an alert in the Discord when this thing pops.
Love those, by the way.
Yeah, I like them too. It's actually helpful for me. It's a better way for me to trade also. Because when I get these alerts, I know to just check that particular channel. It pops right up on my phone. I'm like, ooh, technical pattern, yay! And then I'll either enter or exit a position. It's nice and handy for somebody who's like not constantly staring at their charts during those days off, or if I'm at work, which I tend to be more often than I would rather be. I'd rather be doing this, to be honest. Okay, so definitely a falling wedge. So if we get a breakout here, this will be my signal. Go ahead and re-enter into some of my bigger position. I still have like 5 calls in IRNT right now. they're just like house money. I day traded a lot of these when we started breaking down. I caught it on the bounce and just exited about half of them, and now I've got some scratch on the side where I can re-enter the next time this has a big technical pattern. But I'll point out a couple of other things that I'm noticing. We have hellish divergence on the OBV. Notice this big sell-off, this huge sell-off from its previous squeeze. It's way oversold. Like IRNT is stupidly oversold. And look at what the OBV did. It's just plateaued despite this entire sell-off. This screams market maker bullshit to me. So this is one of those situations where if retail were to start stepping in, if we catch them during a high short exempt spike and just start purchasing up all those shares and taking them out of the float, buying and holding, then the market maker would be put in a position where they would be forced to cover at whatever the prevailing market value is. They're trying to use these short exempts, which this is what they traditionally do. They take a short exempt, they hold on to it, and they don't locate the share. So it's basically a naked short, and they get 6 days to deliver it later. So for the next 6 days, they keep short exempting and short exempting and short exempting. And what this does is it takes away the buy, basically, like it suppresses the ask, and it keeps dropping the ask further and further down. And I'm sorry, I'm getting my terms all mixed up. It forces the ask to stay at a level ceiling. They'll take any orders that are above the ask and they will fill it with a short exempt, and they'll keep pushing down the ask that way. And the bid, any buyers on the bid end up getting stop loss hunted. They'll just hit it with a batch of sell orders whenever there's a load of sell orders ready to go on the market. The market maker will fulfill those orders. They'll hit the bid and slam the price down, and it creates this perfect channel, this perfect bull channel, and it'll go on for a long period of time. Just kind of draw it out so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So this kind of market maker bullshit, this is where the market maker is profiting big time, because they take a short exempt up here and then they keep short exempting and they keep rolling them out, and then they'll cover them on the 6th day when it's finally due, and they'll keep pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down, pushing it down, and then eventually the supply runs out and they hit a zone of demand, and that's where this consolidation is. The zone of demand is right in here in this trading range. Go ahead and draw myself a new shape. So this zone of demand that they've been in here, this is where they can't break it any further below. So then what the market maker is going to do here is they're going to continuously start to accumulate shares and try to cover their position very slowly. They've probably already done so at this point. It's been multiple weeks, so they've probably covered most of these failures to deliver. But if they try to take it down into another bull channel, then what can be done is the next time it touches this zone of demand, which is what it's about to do, retail can step in, purchase up a huge batch of shares, exhaust the float, take away the supply, and if there's some gamma potential in IRNT, then that gamma potential can actually work against the market maker and force them to hedge and actually hurt themselves by forcing them to buy shares. So it's one thing to watch for when you see these patterns. What you're looking for is a long bull channel and spikes in short exempts throughout. That's how you know the market maker is the one that's pushing the stock down. You just wait for a time where the short exempts spike extremely high, but it's consolidating. And when you notice a big volume day like this one, this would have been the time you wait like 2 or 3 days, and then that's where whales would start buying and pushing the stock price back up. Because what the market maker wants to happen here is for a bunch of people to buy high, then they short exempt, force the price down, and then scare them out of their position. And then they're like, well, fine, I'll just let go of my, I don't want to take a huge loss on this. And that works in the favor of the market maker. And then they buy those shares at a lower price and they cover about like 4 or 5 days later. just in time to close those failures to deliver before they're due. So that's one situation where I can see this is how IRNT is working out right now. And I think that this is another chance to do it again because they're pushing it down here into this zone of demand, and the short exempts have been really high. The volume's still really high. If this thing can move in low volume and push up towards $6, then can actually hurt the market makers pretty badly. But we'll do a little bit more DD on this one, and we'll cover it. We'll cover it another time. Okay, MULN. All right, they keep pushing it down. They don't want this bull flag to to fill out.
Hey, TD, do you know you have a meeting?
Oh, that's right, I do.
I'm the manager, everyone.
I
You can
appreciate
call
it,
me
Dilly.
Michael Scott.
Appreciate it, Dilly. Verde, are you in here still? He's not. I don't think I can make it. I got all my times all jacked up.
Tell Booker.
Yeah. Yeah, if you
He's
could,
not
if you,
it right now. I'll let him know.
yeah, if you could let him know. I trust them to handle it. I trust them to handle it. They already know what the, they already know the budget. Okay. So,
So that person who was buying those 500,000 shares would have been able to see his trades in unusual wells, right?
Oh yeah.
By the way, Booger said that you guys think that he knows the budget is famous last words, but he's got it taken care of.
Okay. If he just lets me know what they're quoting us.
Yeah, he will.
We just need to know what they're quoting.
Quite a bit of questions too in the YouTube chat, TD. I don't know if you want to.
Oh yeah, sorry. It wasn't scrolling with it. My bad. Let me go see see if I can catch up.
You want to start off right there where I have the welcome everyone. It's probably where you'll see most of them after that.
Okay. What do you really think this could go to short term, long term? There's huge potential. So I'll talk about it briefly, but I don't want to set anybody up for failure by setting out lofty expectations. But I'll just show you my thesis and kind of give you an idea. All right, I'm not giving any price targets. I'm not setting any expectations for what people should buy or sell at. Okay, I want that to be very clear. I don't do buy signals. I don't do sell signals, and I don't do what's the term? No. Anyway, I'm not going to tell you when to buy and sell. Price targets. I'm not giving any price targets. But I am going to show you the volume chart. Yeah, give me a second. Let me work this out. Take away the off hours. Okay. All right. So if you look at this, this is a volume shelf here. Okay. That's what this is. You see these giant orange and green bars that are running sideways. These are the volume. This is a volume shelf. What this is telling you is how much volume was traded in a specific price range. So this price range starts at 57 cents and goes up to about 120, okay, or so. And the yellow is the selling, the green is the buying. There's been a ton of shorting that took place down here, and it was countered with all of this buying pressure that lifted the price up into this area. Now, I'll go ahead and reduce this down just a little bit. We got to get a little bit closer. But you'll see that, notice there's no shelf up here, okay? If there was volume traded up in these price ranges, it would be here on the side. You would note it. You would see the bars. They're basically non-existent. And what I want you to understand about that is it basically means that there's next to nothing traded at those levels. So I'll reduce this down even further so that we get more granular volume shelf bars. And you'll see there's still nothing up here above $2. I drew this thing all the way back up to here where it was trading at $8, or $9 actually. And there's a couple of things to keep in mind. There are some warrants that are held by Azusa Holdings that have an exercise price or a conversion price of $8.84. And that's when they're eligible to convert those warrants into shares at that price. So per share, $8.84. So if we just take that logic and assume that as soon as the price hits $8.84, it will incentivize Azusa to exercise those warrants and sell them, because that's exactly what they did before. Sorry, I think I lost my microphone there for a second. Right. So if this is the line that Azusa Holdings is waiting to start buying shares back and continue their dilution bullshit, then we can expect at some point this is where the share price may end up if the company is going to see any success. And I mean, I think it will. I think the company will absolutely be tremendously successful in the future. What it will do in the short term, though, can't really say for certain. I don't know if this gamma squeeze that we're targeting here is going to cause enough momentum in the stock to lift it straight up to that price, or if it's going to take, a few months or even years to get there. But I do have a feeling that if we break through this gamma squeeze, then reasonable prices. There's resistance at $3 and $4 and $5 based on Fibonacci levels, but there's not been any volume traded there. Basically, the volume's been almost non-existent. If you look up here at the upper left-hand corner and watch the volume counter, notice how all the volume that was traded way back up here was like less than 100,000 shares most days. Some days it was as low as 10,000 shares. It's basically no volume at all the way down here. And this has been the history of how MULN's been traded. And now suddenly it's trading at hundreds of millions of shares per day. Like, look at these volume spikes. 212 million shares at a time when their float was 20 million. It traded 10 times their float, or very close to 10 times their float, like 9.5 times their float. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing squeezed and just blew right past this share price for the warrant exercise conversion rate. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Am I saying it's going to happen? No, it's like I don't have any way of knowing that. But I'm just saying it wouldn't shock me. So you gotta do your own. You gotta make your own call on that and decide for yourself what. Gotta decide for yourself what is right for you as far as like what your price target is. I can only tell you that my price target is much, 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 much higher than where it currently is. So that's the best that I can give you. So if the share count was diluted, does that mean the market cap is up significantly? Isn't this closer to 200 million market cap now? That actually would be pretty close to accurate. And do some quick math here. The estimated short, I'm sorry, not short, outstanding shares is around 181 million. It's actually more like 181.5 million. So if we multiply that by the current share price at 190, market cap is roughly $344.8 million. So, yep. This thing suddenly blew up to become a small cap stock from a micro. It was a micro cap stock. Now it's a small cap.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And if this thing goes up to it just
Presto changeo.
yeah, presto changeo. Oh man. If we were to see this thing go up to let's say that exercise price, 884, that would put it at 1.6 billion. 1.6 billion. Ain't that crazy? Captain
You're
Insano
welcome,
asks,
brother.
how quickly after the warrant is hit do they get shares in hand to sell? Does it take them T+2 for their shares to settle before they can sell? Traditionally, I want to say yes, but another thing that they can do, which is kind of bullshit, is they can actually borrow shares and they can sell them short at whatever the price is, and then they can do the exercise price and get them delivered 2 days later to cover those shorts. They would be able to cover those shares 2 days later. They have a lot more wiggle room than any of us do. Like, they don't have to strictly hold those shares to be able to sell them. They could sell short and then find those shares later, air quotes, find, by exercising at the conversion rate later on. Quick update on SYTA squeeze potential. Let me see if I can pull that up. So SYTA has a short ratio of 0.3. SYTA. So this is this is what SYTA is doing. It's actually looking pretty good. It's averaging around that $1 mark. A lot of these short exempts were taken at sub $1. There's a lot more. There's a lot more up at $1.02 or $1.25, but those have all probably been covered by now. The failures to deliver that those would have created. But the ones that are as recent as March 8th, those are still on the table. It's a micro cap, or I'm sorry, a micro float stock. So well, it is a micro cap too, but it's a micro float stock, which is more to the point. If this stock were to get bought up right now and lift the asking price up above $1.20, would put market makers in a pretty shifty situation. The 5 SMA delta rate is moving up. It's starting to trend upward. So this is a good sign. The price needs to keep moving up consistently by about 5% per day. When I start to see something like that, when I start to see the price moving up 5% per day, or seeing the 5-day SMA delta rate moving up at that rate, that'll be more confirmation for the squeeze potential. Right now, this is I don't believe there's options on SYTA, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's just shares. And also double check the short interest just to make sure I'm not missing any of the main data points. Yeah, short interest is still pretty high, 13.78% of free float with 1.54 million shares. Very high cost to borrow average. Yep, this one's still alive, definitely. Short interest is they're trying to negotiate a little bit, but most of these shorts entered into their position at a little over $2. So most of these shorts, you'd have to bring the stock price up to $4 in order to really put pain on them. So if it's going to happen, probably will take at least several weeks, probably a few months. Let's take a look at failures to deliver. None of those. Threshold list. Yeah, you're going to tell me there's no failures to deliver, but it's been on the threshold list 3 times? Okay, Finra.
Move along, nothing to see here.
Look at the short lending volume. Holy crap. There's some funny shit going on here. Let me look at what's on loan. Oh God. All right. Yeah. This is a good entry position. All right. I'm just gonna say it. SYTA. This is a good entry position right now. There's some funny shit going on here. There's a ton of shares on loan right now. God, that's like, yeah, on loan is 27% of the stock. I don't know if there's any dilution on the horizon for SYTA, though. I haven't dug into the filings, so I don't know enough about it to say whether there's a dilution risk. That would be what I would be concerned with, is if SYTA is like super desperate for cash and needs to dilute again. If they do it now, then they'd be committing financial suicide. So yeah, if you want to do me a favor and get me back some answers on that, or if there's any analysts here in the room that are able to start looking into SYTA's filings, let me know.
I think this one's in Kadood's channel inside the Discord.
Yeah, I know he was calling this one out. It's why he usually calls out ones that don't have options, because he trades mostly shares. He looks for those short squeeze candidates that have no options, because they usually move more naturally, because a market maker can't hedge their bets by negotiating these ridiculous options positions. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this volume shelf here. We don't need that anymore. Everybody's, I think, pretty clear on that. Let's look at this 45. Okay. Yep. Okay. So now we've got a bullish pennant here. Big gap up, retraced down, found support, bounced up, touching the top. Now we got to see what happens here. I want to see it hold 180. I really want to see it hold 180. Really, I want to see a breakout above $2. That would be ideal. That's what really needs to happen. But 180 is good. This is the price level that I told everybody. This is where the market maker loses a massive amount of money. This is where it really starts to hurt them. But the FTDs may have already been covered as of Thursday. So if there's any outstanding failures to deliver, there's probably not many of them. They most likely covered them with borrowed shares. Oh, sorry. I'm still showing Ortex. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
My bad. Thank you, Logical.
By the way, Scrap Queen is now a mod of YouTube chat.
Oh, thank you. You know what? That feels appropriate.
Yeah. She's always in there showing love, and she knows what is appropriate for YouTube chat and what isn't. So
Much appreciated. Glad to have you aboard, Scrap Queen.
Woohoo!
we love her.
After 250, is it just liftoff? That's pretty much what I'm saying. Like I'm not guaranteeing anything, but like honestly, above $2, that's where the de-hedging, or I'm sorry, the hedging, the delta hedging can start to take place. That's where it's really going to hurt the market makers above that level. So the closer we get to 250, the heavier that pressure will be for them to start hedging their call options that they wrote. So I guess it's up to the market maker if they think that they can hold it down here, or if they're going to start hedging now while they have a chance at a lower price. But now their problem becomes that they also may have a net short position that's still way higher leverage than what they want to have, and they want to push the price further down. So it's just a matter of who has more patience. Does retail have more patience, or does the market maker have more patience? Because the market maker definitely has more liquidity. They have tons of money to throw at this problem, and this is a small cap stock, so they may just simply decide, like, screw it, we'll just cover now and take our losses because it's not worth it to spend so much energy and liquidity controlling this thing. We'll just let it run. And if they do that, then they can short it at the top and then return it back to a sane level. But they'll have to do some hedging. So if they do that, they're probably going to make that decision very soon, because these March 18th calls are dangerously close to in the money for them. Above $2, it starts to get really they should be getting nervous at above that level. I'm not saying that it's going to like bankrupt anybody. It's probably not going to do that because this is a small cap stock. These are micro float numbers. I wouldn't expect it to cause that kind of damage unless these guys were like hundreds of million shares naked short, and suddenly we had like a GameStop type event where this thing just went up to $40 or something ridiculous like that. Those are just arbitrary numbers. Don't quote me on that. But like that's what I'm saying would be necessary to do real damage. This would be a small victory for retail if this thing could get above 250 and then start making a run for like $4 or $5 or something like that. That would be for me a reasonable victory. Of course, I hope for more. Of course, I have bigger goals, and well, looks like we're about ready to break out here.
We might be doing that right now.
Yeah, maybe we are. Maybe we are.
We are.
Yep. That inverse head and shoulders, and we broke up above, and it's been just kind of hovering at the neckline now. Yeah, it's been bouncing off of this neckline.
Oh man, that's textbook for the flag at the end of the head and shoulders.
Yeah, it really is. This is a big bullish pattern.
That is textbook.
That's really nice. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Breakout. Yep, that's it. Come on, do it. I need to see 195. I need to see 195 for confirmation. It's getting ready to break out here, but I need to see 195. We got to break this level.
Whisper Goulet.
The MULN Whisperer.
Give it to me.
GME might have found its bottom.
Yeah, I think you're right. And AMC's been curving.
I would like to hope so. I don't like to see retail get stuck holding the bag, and this stock is oversold. The only thing pushing this thing down is just pure liquidity on behalf of all of those assholes on Wall Street that have just been so determined to say that retail doesn't know what the hell it's talking about and to keep the facade going. I could say the same thing about AMC. It's selling down to 1370, but they're having a really hard time getting people to give up their shares below that level. $14 is such strong support, and I will prove it to you just with a single indicator. I will give you just this volume shelf, and look at how thick the shelf is at $14. All right, are you ready? Like, look at how heavy this is compared to all the way up here. And they had a hell of a time
ridiculous.
pushing it down below these levels before. Look at how heavy the buy side is here.
Oof.
That's so silly. If we were to go all the way back to here, back to July, like where they're trying to get it down to right now is the heaviest shelf. Absolute heaviest. They're going to have a hell of a time getting it down off of this thing. What I think is going to end up happening is AMC is going to bounce off of this. I've got a dash support line that you'll see, or sorry, the solid line. This is the ascending support. I've marked this out, and this is what I'm speculating is the bottom. So as soon as I see this touch, it'll be at about
Volume moving into MULN.
volume moving into MULN. All right, it's time to go watch MULN now. Come on, man. Do it. Do it. I'll catch up with chat a little bit more.
Here we go.
Jake from State Farm says that I'm the best. Thank you, Jake from State Farm. I appreciate that. Maybe I need new insurance, so maybe I'll talk to State Farm. Allstate fucked
Get
me on my
yourself some
car
new
insurance.
khakis because we're about at $195.
There it is. That's it. That's the breakout. Congratulations. Now you get to watch it run. Now you get to watch it run. Yee. Time to get excited. Time to get excited. That's that confirmation that I wanted to see. I've already got all my calls. Like I'm not adding to my position now. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Like just watching that 195 now. The intensity.
Wow, that's a lot of stack on the level 2.
Yeah, they're fighting. The algos are fighting because they don't want it to break this.
I can only imagine
break
what
this
Verde
area.
sees on his.
A big battle right now.
Jesus. That is a lot
You know
of
what's
shit.
crazy is this reminds me of the $1.20 and then the what was it, the 80, and then you know what I'm saying, like everything that we've been going through since 50 cents. It's just been crazy because we get these levels and just fighting right there.
Okay. Oh,
It's crazy. It gives me a sense of it when I hear Matt tell stories about the battle for 7, the battle for 21 on AMC.
Almost 500 million shares traded. Wow.
in one day. Good God. That's the silliest nonsense. This is just silly. Even with that 100, even with that shelf offering, even if all of those shares were being traded today, right now, which they aren't, we know they aren't. There's no way that all 181 million of those shares are being traded back and forth 8 times today. It's not happening. There's no way. Good Lord. Well, I'm sorry. Excuse me. It's more like 2.5 times. But Jesus, Jesus, 181 million shares. If it was the entire outstanding shares, 181 million outstanding would be traded 2.5 times over.
Jeez.
Boy, they do not want to see that 195. They're scared. If it breaks above that, heights and it stays above it, I don't want to see that $2.
Jesus, I just looked at the rest of the watch list I've got going, and MULN's making my portfolio honey badger. It don't fucking care. That is crazy.
Yeah, MULN kept my portfolio alive today. All right, we got 30 minutes. Algos need to kick in and do something right here.
They're about to.
What are they gonna do?
I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it.
Clockwork with them.
Oh, God, yeah. Tell me about it. Look at this volume candle. Holy shit. Oh, God. And this volume candle here on the 28th, this was when the float was still 20 million shares. Holy shit. 630 million shares. How do you make 20 million shares trade hands? Let's see, was that 20 times? My head math is off. I haven't had enough coffee.
Oh, it's cracking me up. Look at the volume candle at 8 a.m. this morning in pre-market. And it's literally what you guys were talking about during the stream yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the in the professionals meeting?
Yeah, 5 million shares like clockwork. Boom! Big candle.
Jeez. It's amazing how methodical it is, these algorithms. You figure this shit out,
All right.
as soon as you figure this shit out, like, they'll never be able to profit off of retail again if every single person can figure it out. That's pretty much what Hell's Trading Floor is trying to do. We're trying to educate everybody so that y'all, so that everybody is on the same page and everyone knows what the hell the market maker is going to do or what the hedge funds are going to do, and then nobody has to be surprised or left holding the bag whenever something like this happens. Because the first thing they're going to do is just they're going to wait for that. They're so methodical. They're so methodical. And they're just going to end up hammering people out of nowhere. And you know what you can do? You know what? If retail was all on the same page and we all knew what these assholes were going to do, all you do, just buy up all, if you know that they're going to hammer you down, sell your calls, open up some credit spreads or buy some puts, whatever, and just protect yourself. Have all your shares ready to go. Wait for them to hammer it, and you can exercise your puts or sell your puts, whatever. And then just buy the dip. Once it's done dipping, buy the dip. You exercise those puts, use that money that you just gained off of them selling all of their shares, and then you scoop those shares right back up with those profits. Take it all back and then some. And guess what? They just fucked themselves, didn't they? That's what I want to do. I want retail to be able to predict when all these fucking silly games that these market makers are playing are no longer a secret. And as soon as they try something like that, retail rips the rug out from underneath them to see how they fucking like it. That's what I want
like
to
them
do.
apples.
How do you like them apples?
Can I interest you in a magic carpet ride, sir?
We've been testing this area right here too many times. We need to just go ahead and break it.
Yeah, it's. I think it's coming soon here. I think it's coming soon.
Tour of the Cave of Wonders.
That resistance. Oh man. 195. I'm telling you, got to break through it though. We got to break through it this time. This is what it takes. We got to break through.
It literally had my 195.3 resistance point mapped out, and just high five.
We need this to close greater than. Close greater than. Once per bar per close.
SPY and IWM are taking a hit, and MULN is still looking a little strong over there. So, inverse action.
I saw Raven, the YouTube chat, mentioned about being nervous about trading options, and that was literally me just a couple of months ago. And a plug for Hell's trading floor is just getting to see people's thought process, see what they're doing in real time, and thinking, and different ways of playing. Doesn't tell you exactly what to do when and here. It gives you all the tools that you need to feel kind of confident in doing that under different circumstances. So I highly encourage, whether it's there or somewhere else, being able to see people exercise the thought process is so big.
Well said.
I agree.
Thoughts on shift? I don't really have any thoughts on shift. I don't know that stock very well. I haven't done any DD on that one. Let's see. SFT getting close to a short squeeze. I don't want to pull away from MULN right now. I'm getting distracted on a whole lot of tickers lately, so I'm trying to keep myself narrowed down to just a few. But if you want to do some DD, help me out. Tag an analyst, and we'll do some short squeeze analysis on these. We'll see if we can get some. We'll see if we can get some analyses on these.
Oh, here comes the break. Come on, MULN, you could do it. Break right here.
It's starting to pull away from that N13. That's been good so far.
Let's see. Johnny Love is asking to go live. I feel like we can just have him join us here in the film studio. I'll be happy to have him chat while he's streaming.
Yeah, if he's joined already, I can tag him in here.
Yeah, tag him in here and see if he's able to join in. I think let's see, if he's a community guest, he should have speaker rights in here. All he has to do is join. I'll see if I can go ahead and share my. I'll even try to share my screen with the Discord. Hopefully, it'll work.
Yeah, blocks and blocks, man. The only reason we even have the $3 paywall on the Discord is to keep out bots and whatnot. So it keeps it a little bit more productive in there. But we'd love to have you.
He does have speaker rights.
Okay.
I put a link in the live stream chat for him.
Okay. Well, if he joins us, we can chat. But I don't want to pull away while we're in the middle of this. And I don't have access. I'm not in his Discord at all. So.
Yeah, I just DM'd him too.
Okay.
Scott picked up on our MULN.
Scott picked up on our MULN.
It's a running gag in our Discord. We have pet names for certain tickers. We got Amy and Jimmy and Bobby and MULN. We've got all sorts of common characters.
I'm betting you that Johnny Love also probably isn't watching Discord very closely right now. So maybe if somebody wants to go and raid his Discord with some cactus emojis and be like, "Hey, come talk to TD. He's streaming right now." Somebody go over to Johnny Love's stream right now and just cactus spam. I'm gonna be that dick YouTuber that sends an army of his legion his legion of followers to just throw emoji spam into his chat. Don't be too aggressive though, okay? Just behave yourselves.
All in fun.
I just like to I just want to harass them. Like maximum 3 messages, okay? Maximum per person 3 cactus messages, okay? I'm setting some guidelines so that we're not overtly being total douche kazoos.
Currently streaming right now?
Same.
I don't think he's streaming right now.
Oh, is he not? Oh, my bad.
We can
I
all
thought he
tweet
was.
him though.
You can all tweet him. Just, oh my god, where did these 8,000 messages come from?
That's gross.
Oh man. Oh man.
And a lot of viewers when these damn ads start popping up.
Yeah. Man, I forgot all about daylight savings. It totally screwed up my schedule for what was supposed to be happening today with all these meetings. It really messed with me.
Minutes. What are we gonna do?
It's consolidating nicely. I'm
He
imploring
wants to
all the
know
day
the
traders out there, don't don't just pull the rug out from everybody else, please. Like we can actually hurt these market makers. I'm probably venturing into the territory of stock manipulation now. I'll just need to stop.
G, join us on the Discord. We are live from opening bell to close, and oftentimes till late hours of the night and everything in between.
Yeah. If you're interested in being a part of this
Bell to
community,
bell.
like most of our DD happens in the voice chat when I'm not streaming. So a lot of that stuff is just going on throughout the trading day. Don't don't think that like just this stream is the only thing that happens here. Hell's Trading Floor is a huge DD community. We've got access to analytics bots and stuff. You should check it out. Discord.gg/Hell's Trading Floor is our link. If one of
Here
the mods
every
want to
day,
go ahead.
bell to bell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every day, bell to bell. Somebody, usually an army of somebodies is in there doing DD every day.
Pin that to the top.
How much cash does GME have on hand? I have no idea, man. Honestly, I've not been paying as close attention to GME. The financial statements and the balance sheet are not something that I look at daily. I don't get those updates. I just know what GME has done for retail, and I recognize the potential and the power of an entire legion of retailers that are willing to buy no matter what. I recognize that that power. What charting do I normally use? Trying to get better. Finally, have a home setup. I have a. That's a good question. I use TradingView for mine. And if you're interested in TradingView and you're also interested in helping us out, we have an affiliate link with TradingView. They give us a cut out of anybody who signs up for their professional edition or higher, and that would be super cool of you. But TradingView is the software that we use. Pretty much all the analysts use the professional version of TradingView. It has all kinds of different indicators, and a lot of them are custom scripts by other people that are like all of these moving averages that I just barfed onto my chart here. These are indicators and scripts that are created by the community of TradingView developers. They add a lot of value to TradingView. So if you want to use charting software like this, this is what I consider to be the best. The one downside to it that I wish could be improved is I wish it had time and sales data, and I wish it had options chain data, real time options. Okay, okay. Let's see. Do we
Hey, Richard
have?
Demon.
Hey, Johnny, what's up?
How you doing, man?
Hey, nice to see you. Yeah, we're hanging out here watching Mullen try to break out of this bull pennant right now. It looks like they're trying to shove it down here before the end of the day, going into the last 15 minutes of the day. Probably some day traders taking profits would be my guess.
Yeah. I just want to say, man, thanks for. I remember the first day you tweeted at me on about this play. Actually, I just want to say thanks for bringing it to a lot of us.
No problem, dude. I'm so glad that people made money on this play. I don't think it's over. That's why
I
I'm
don't
still
either.
yeah. This thing can absolutely slam market makers in the in the dupa. This one
Yeah, I agree.
that $2 resistance is everything right now. That's what I'm watching. So I don't know if have you tracked any of the videos from Hell's Trading Floor, or would you like
Yeah.
okay,
I've been
cool.
watching your videos on it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So then I don't need to tell you too much about the resistances or the gamma. But if there's anything that you or your viewers are curious about, I'm happy to give them an update.
Yeah, man. It's just like you said. I think it's still early in it. I think we still got plenty of room to go on it. You definitely found something here, man. That's there's a lot more potential for sure.
Still going too.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see if we're going to close above this 195 level. If we can close above 195, that would be the big resistance. I want to see a breakout of this little bull pennant that we have here. I can see the day traders are trying to take out their positions here, and I really want to make them regret it.
What do you think about the gap downside?
The gap downside, honestly,
It's
not.
that one from pre-market.
See, I'm not actually worried about it because we had already tested it and we traded our heaviest consistent volume in this zone of demand. That's why I'm not too concerned. I'll
Yeah,
draw
no,
it out for you.
I mean, it stayed strong here.
Yeah, this area, this is the zone of demand that I'm talking about. They tried to slam it down here. There were a couple of death spikes. What I was watching this on the 5 minute chart pretty much all day, and what I was seeing was I was seeing death spike candles back to back to back, and they always like they would slam the price down and hit the bid right before the candle closed every single time whenever they wanted it to do that. So whenever they wanted to create a death spike to make it to create a bearish pattern, they would always do it 5 seconds before the close, and they would keep it down there for that period of time. So they kept consistently hitting it at exactly those closes, and that's how I knew that this was just bullshit. And this zone of demand, I was expecting a bunch of buyers to step in. So a lot of stop loss hunting, but
Oh yeah.
it didn't shake anybody out. Like this was where I expected it to break down. Was after it broke down outside of the zone of demand, I expected it to fall down, but it didn't. Found support, and now we've got two higher lows. And if we maybe we'll retest it one more time, but if we break out of this bull wedge, I don't think we'll see it again. I don't think we'll come back down to 190. We just got to break through this $2 level.
Yeah, because I was thinking exactly like it's about 2 hours ago, kind of, or right just at that retest. I was thinking it would possibly lose interest there, but man, it's stayed strong right there.
Yeah, that's what
Like
I've
how
been
it's
watching.
consolidating here.
There's another
And the
one.
30-minute, those three last 30-minute candles, I do like those.
Yeah, it's nice. They're trying to break down this. They're trying to break down this bull pennant pattern.
Volume, man. It's
I know.
over 500 million. It's there.
I know. I know. So I don't know if you got updated on the shelf offering. I actually, I updated you on what Ortex told me. But yeah, the shelf offering for Mullen's been updated now with 181.5 million or so. So now we have a much bigger float. We already knew that that was happening. Like that's the whole thing that I've been screaming about the whole time. Like, oh god, D'Souza is going to dilute. Ooh, just keep buying and don't get scared because of like when the dilution announcement comes out. It's already happened. So that's why nobody needs to be
we've already
scared right
seen
now.
it. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
I just couldn't believe, man, reading through your DD thread, like that very first one you had put out, man, it just stuff like this is just insane. Markets.
Sometimes it gets a little bit frustrating when it happens so
That's what
consistently.
I was gonna say.
I keep waiting for somebody other than me to start screaming about like, oh look, the market maker is about to do this, and then lo and behold, the price gets slammed down, and then retail comes in and buys. That's what I want to be happening. I want us to be ahead of these trades and see whenever they do like this shit, like this death spike. Watch it close with a full body no wick.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see. They're trying to hit it right now. I bet you it's on the 3-minute chart.
I'm on the 3-minute right now.
Yep. Let's see. It's about to close. It's about to close in
minutes.
Let's see. It's about to close in about 10 seconds. My timer's not down to the second.
The 61.8 on the Fib is their favorite spot to bounce it.
Mm-hmm. Trying to break it down here. Look at these. We're gonna look at these 1-minute candle closes.
174.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at this volume spike. Look at this bullshit. Yeah. Well, they did leave it with a wick.
Just barely.
Just barely. They just barely left it with a wick. I was expecting them to try and close it with a full body candle.
Just full body.
And look, now they're coming back. Now they're taking the shares back. Look at how fast the shares are getting bought back now. This volume candle just rising up and up and up.
In the next couple of days, it's going to be exciting watching this.
It will be. It really will.
Yeah.
Just with this kind of volume, if this you keep this up for multiple days here, this will get interesting.
That's what I'm saying.
Not just going to stay up here at 195 with that kind of volume.
Yeah. This is why retail needs to not get scared. This is why day traders need to if you're gonna play this thing, explore swing trading. Just saying, okay, you might actually like the result. Just try a little swing trade, okay? Try it once. Don't take your little 5% piddly ass profit. Like this is one of those moments where you take a big dick swing and gamble and see what happens. Live a little bit. Not financial advice, of course, but live a little bit. Live a little. They're trying to make this thing into a head and shoulders pattern now.
I think you meant big cactus swing.
Yeah.
We need a Saguaro cactus pattern. Or saguaro, however you say it. Come on, let's do an engulfing candle. Let's go.
I should right up to it.
Let's swallow it up. Take all those shares back.
He is picking back up again, though.
Damon, have you ever had a chance to speak to David Mishry?
No, let's see. Honestly, I don't think that he would. If he was an intelligent, if he's an intelligent executive, he'll never speak to me. He probably wouldn't like what I have to say about his methods of running the company.
Yeah.
Would I welcome an opportunity to speak to him? Absolutely. But if he's a smart guy, he won't want to. I'll probably be too critical and damage his fragile ego.
I suppose the truth, man.
Truth hurts. And honestly, like, I just gotta say, like, how come you started looking for financing with these freaking loan sharks before you went after that that ATVM loan? There was a low interest $450 million loan on the table, and you all that you needed to do was just apply for it with your prototype model. Why did you wait? And why did you purchase, or why did you sign a contract that would force you to dilute your company by $2.5 million against the share price at a time? I guess it was like trading at $12 at the time. So it's like, oh, it's only like a few 100,000 shares at a time. That's no big deal. Yeah, you really don't understand how these fucking sharks work, do you? They'll just short the
That's
shit
just
out of your
something I'll
company
never
and just.
understand, dude.
And that's the problem when you have somebody that thinks they're a businessman that knows he may know how to run a business, maybe. Not saying he's great at it, but he claims to know how to run a business. But now you get into the territory where you're trying to run a business that's propped up financially by your stock price, and that's the only thing holding it up. Guess what? You have an entire frenzy of sharks out in the oceans just smelling blood in the water, and you're the one with the nicked cut in your skin. You're just swimming in the water hoping that you can find some driftwood to climb up onto before they get there.
The passion in your voice.
Appreciate that.
I'm sorry, Jack. There's no room.
Boot to the face. That was savage. That was hilarious. All right. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit because we've got a bit of a better idea of where our supports are at now. Yep, they're going to keep this thing down below $1.80, or they're going to try to. This was a big victory today, though. Like, I just wish the day traders would not be so pussyfooted about sticking to a position. Oh, hey guys, you want to know how many viewers we have concurrently right now on YouTube? 666 people watching. How about that?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Screenshot it.
Too late. We just got more viewers. Oh well. It's nice to see you all. Thank you all for joining.
All right, final three.
City
What are your
Blade
thoughts
says
tomorrow,
that
3D, man?
CEI is a pump and dump. It's an energy stock, and oil is fucking ripping, dude. Do you see what the fuck oil's doing? What kind of pump and dump do you think it is?
That's the pump.
It's pumping oil. That's
It's
for sure.
pumping oil. Like, I don't want to make you feel bad or nothing, dude, but like, have you looked at the oil price lately? Like, have you seen what this shit's doing? Let me put this out on the daily.
Speaking of,
Do you see this shit?
ego.
Do you see this? Like, I don't want to be a dick, but like, do you see what oil's doing, and then compare it to what CEI is doing? Like, just come on. Dude, don't. Where is CEI at? Oh god, It shrunk it way down. What the hell? Oh god. TradingView, why do you do this to me?
I hate that too.
TradingView, why do you do this
We
to
need
me?
Occam's to tell us like the hack for that.
Okay. Look at oil. Look at what oil did. All right. And now look at what CEI did. Look, perfect candle to candle match. Okay. Crude started doing this, and then all of a sudden CEI started pumping. After oil went up, oil spiked up, then Russia's full blown war with Ukraine. The whole world is starving for refined oil. CEI is pumping. Now oil's relaxing a little bit, and so is CEI. Watch. Oil starts pumping again. CEI will go back up to where it was. It's not going to, like, just, it's not a pump and dump. CEI is not a pump and dump. If there are pump and dumpers, like, they're not the reason why it's moving. It's at least not the only reason. Yeah, they might get a few people to just jump in, like, yeah, I trust this guy, and just go throw their money at the screen. But, like, no, that's not the reason why CEI is moving.
10 seconds.
All right, let's get back to MULN. We got to catch this for the last few seconds. Where are we going? It's going to close below $1.80.
Better not.
Ding, ding, ding.
If it gets some action in the after hours, they're not gonna be able to control that shit.
Yeah, I am in full agreement with you there. If this thing starts to move after hours, they will not be able to control it. MULN is strong right now. Market makers did a big freaking oopsie here. Market makers made a big oopsie.
That is the technical term for that. It's actually an indicator on TradingView. OPSI.
Yeah. when you enter a short position for a net value of 100 million shares at a cost average of $1 and the price moves up to $2, you have made what is in the technical trading terms a big fucking oopsie. you have done taken the nearest cactus available and sat upon it and wedged it at least 3 feet up your own ass.
Oops.
That was a that was a fundamental error in judgment.
You've been
With that said, come join us in the Discord.
Now that's what I call a happy cactus. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh wow.
2%. More than 2%.
There is an after party in the Discord.
Yeah. Come and join us in the Discord for the after bell party. We're always hanging out.
Bell,
Yeah.
but also after.
We're always hanging out every single time. And this is not as we spoke earlier, this is not financial advice. We don't do financial advice, but we are all about market education and trying to help people learn how to make the most use out of their money and data that's available. So if you want to learn how to analyze trading data and take advantage of the data points that we use here at Hell's Trading Floor, come and check us out. Our link is https://discord.gg/Hell's Trading Floor. Our local regional manager here has just posted it in the chat. Please consider joining it. There's a $3 entry fee for the lowest entry. Just try it out, okay? It's a really cool place to hang out. We're all about market education, and any piece of data that you want, anything that we can share with you, all you have to do is ask. If you're looking for some technical analysis on a stock, if you want to know if you want to know what float and short interest numbers are going for a stock, if you want to know like what gamma potential there is on a stock, options, options leverage, and options flow, we've got all of that stuff. We've got StockBot, Options FanBot, Unusual Whales Bot, and our own, of course, proprietary bot, ScourgeBot, which called out MULN to us, as well as several other plays. We've got tons of plays in the works. ScourgeBot's called out to us, just giving us a couple more of these. One of them that we are actually looking at is GILT. You wouldn't think much of it from just the ticker based on what it's doing right now, but believe it or not, ScourgeBot sent us an alert, and you might see this big ass red volume candle and think to yourself, like, what the hell is this? Well, ScourgeBot let us know about this just out of nowhere. Something was going on with this stock, and now we're looking at it, and it would seem that market makers are about ready to do a big fucking oopsie on this one too. So some of us at Hell's Trading Floor are taking a position on this stock also. We've got others like IRNT. We called this big move here. We're a little bit disappointed that it didn't keep going, but hey, it's just an opportunity to buy the dip and average
An
down.
unusual snail.
It's an unusual
It's an
snail.
unusual.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just an unusual
I mean,
snail.
come on.
It's no big deal.
Look at how oversold this thing is, and it's in a zone of demand right here. Hellish divergence on the OBV. Look at these big plateaus throughout this sell-off. This is divergence, big divergence, big sell-off. OBV's flat. That's big divergence. All you need to, and if you want to learn anything about all of our technical patterns and how we screen and spot these stocks, all you got to do is just come join us in Hell's Trading Floor. We're happy to teach everybody. We're happy to provide you with all the tools you need to develop your own trading strategy, your own trading thesis, and learn how to make the market and make your money work for you. I think that's going to be it for us today. It's been cool seeing all you guys. I think this is the most viewers that we've ever had at one time, with more than 680 people in here at one time. That's
Shout
pretty
out.
nuts. That is
that's
so
wild.
cool.
Thanks, everyone. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We love you.
All right. Well, that's all we got time for today. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you had a hell of a time in the markets.